everyone. Good evening and welcome. I'm so excited to welcome all of you for the first live session of the Reengineered podcast. And I think one of the first thing that I want to say that before I introduce myself, thank you. Thank you so much for supporting us and all the followers, all the listeners, everyone, and for the support that you have extended to the Reengineered Club podcast. So, introducing myself, I'm Madhusmita. I'm the host of the Reengineered podcast, and I am representing Reengineered podcast from myself as a host and my team who is working relentlessly for so many hours to make this happen, and also the beautiful guest. I think I have around recorded more than 27 guests who are already there, with whom I have interacted and we have published it. And most importantly, there are a few power-packed guests who are lined up in our upcoming seasons. In our upcoming weeks, it will be launched, and so stay tuned for that. So I think I'm talking a little too fast because I'm so excited. I'm coming, and the main purpose of coming live is to share what is the Reengineered podcast about and why we started. And I request all of you who are watching and who have poured so much of happiness and messages and congratulation messages to me, encouraging me day and night to come up with this beautiful, authentic stories. So please go ahead and give your comments. Put any questions that you want to ask. In the meantime, I'll be also reading out few questions which I have received through messages from your side. Coming to the first question, I'll take it, which has come from one of my very, very dear friend. Like, how do you balance your personal life with your podcast and business commitments? It's really difficult. I must say, I will not say that it's so easy to balance everything. As we all know, it's not only me, be you are a woman or you are a man. If you are, nowadays it has become so dynamic and so versatile that one particular job or one thing is not constant. So constant is no more there, and change is the only constant thing. So we all do so many things, and for me, I balance my personal and professional life because of the great ecosystem that I have. And as I told earlier, when I started this podcast, I was having a beautiful team who was supporting me. And without your support, without listeners' constant feedback, so I could have never succeeded to launch 24 podcasts as on date. So I think I'm so thankful and grateful for all your support that I'm listening throughout. Even your one message makes my day. Your one feedback makes my day. And I'm constantly learning. And this podcast, which is called the Reengineered podcast, which sounds very, very technical, but actually it's very simple when you translate that to your life. We use so many technology systems, lean, AI to bring on changes in a company. And same thing, we can settle down in our life by thinking what is working correctly in our life and what has not worked in our life. Take that as an experience and share it all and see how we can make it better. So these are the things that we need to apply it for life. And one of the questions that very often it's been asked, in the public, why I came up with this, why podcast and why Reengineered podcast. I'm an engineer basically. And I have experience and exposure to Lean Six Sigma and all this, and I work in many business excellence projects where I see what are the bottlenecks. And hi Said, thank you for the question, and you asked the right question at the right time. I'll get back to your comment. So this is how, if we find out tools and techniques for improving our processes, our structure, to make it smooth, to make it lean, to make it achievable, then why not we use our experience, our talent, our ecosystem, our relationship, our pure love to make it a beautiful life. and to find out actually what brings us happiness. So that is why I started, like, with so many experience in reengineering. I thought, why not to start this podcast where I bring guests and I ask them the questions, the challenges, what they faced, and how they have attained that and how they have improved. So similarly, this will be the stories which will motivate all of us to do it. And Said Imran, he is a very gentleman and whom I know for last 2.5 years. Thank you for a beautiful question. Have you faced any bottleneck situations at work or personal life? How do you manage and overcome such challenge? Every day, Said, every day, because we work together so closely. So, like everywhere, anywhere you go, you will be facing bottleneck. And in every day challenge, it's like a one day at a time. And the thing is that how you overcome it. It is nothing like you face it and then you find it like what happened properly and what didn't happen properly, and then you plan and organize it and use that for the next event. So you might be facing that challenge in the first attempt. Anything new, definitely when I started this podcast, I have no experience of having, as a reporter or as a host or anything. I have no experience, but I like to talk to people. I like to bring topics, challenging topics, very less spoken topics to discuss, to come up with the solutions and to share your views. That is why I came up with this podcast. But believe me, when I started, I thought it will be smooth. It is just, what is this? It just go to the studio, record it and launch it. But no, it's not. It's really, you need patience, and like same podcast, everything remains the same. Anything you do, you face a bottleneck for the first attempt and you learn from it and you use that experience to overcome the next challenge. And that's how you continuously grow, you continuously improve, and that's how you make a beautiful experience throughout. So this is how I take every challenge as a learning opportunity and to keep up the next level high and to learn it and then to grow. I hope, Said, it has answered your question. Thank you so much for a lovely question. And I'd like to request all of you who are watching this video, watching us live, please post your questions too. I will go to a few other questions like, this sounds interesting. Like, okay, your son's video was very good. When are you bringing your husband on podcast? This is a question asked by my colleague, by my husband's colleague, that when I'm bringing my husband on podcast. Thank you so much. And I think the podcast that I have with my son had maximum love from all of you. Thank you so much. It was all impromptu, and I want this podcast to be watched by every parent, every mother especially, who are feeling guilty every day when they leave their child that, okay, I'm going to work, I'm not doing my mother's duty. No, it is not. The thing is that we have to educate them how to grow together, how to prosper together. So never have that guilt. Be guilt-free mother. Thank you. Yes, Soumit, thank you so much. Big fan of your podcast. Thank you so much. This all statements really makes my day and it keeps motivating me how to go forward. Thank you so much for watching, and any question, you please go ahead and post it. Question, comment. What are the upcoming, I'll go back to the next question which I have got through my DMs from LinkedIn and Instagram. I'm just going through. Okay. How do you find and secure interesting guests for your podcast? So you want to know the strategy behind the interesting guest I bring on the show? Yes. So I hunt for authentic music, authentic guests, authentic stories, authentic people who have a beautiful story to share, and they have actually re-engineered their life, their career, their passion, their lifestyle, made anything. And if they have a unique, authentic story to share, their failures, their success, their journey especially, then I approach them and then we go together and find out like, okay, how to do it, and then after that logistics are taken care of. So I and my team personally look for authentic stories and re-engineered stories. It's not about your career alone, but you have changed your life, your relationship, or your maybe your healthy diet, or maybe your lifestyle, or maybe your education, be whatever it is. Age is not a barrier. Gender is not a barrier. Someone has asked me like, are you focusing, because people usually, I'm a very big advocate of women empowerment. So somebody has commented in one of the podcasts like, do you only promote women in your podcast? No, absolutely no. So age is not a barrier in my podcast. If you really have a passion, interest, and has a re-engineering story to share, definitely I want the world to listen to your story and get inspired, because we are here to create a platform where we learn from each other. So that's the motive, like how I find out my podcast guest. I think last two questions which I have, what are the top 3 tips for someone starting their own business? Okay. So I'm not an entrepreneur, but I do so many volunteering assignments where I start from scratch, talking about this podcast itself. One basic thing I must say, one of the most essential tip for starting any business is consistency. And before you start, you should know the why you are starting it. Believe me, to come up with this podcast, the theme, I might have thought of many things, but I exactly remember where I had a whiteboard and I was brainstorming which particular theme to come up. So I first came up with one theme where I'm talking about how mothered, so like a mother's talk. Then I thought, no, because I'm a strategy and corporate performance professional, so I should come up about strategy network, how strategy works and all. Then I thought that, no, maybe something which I'll be interesting, like where we bring experience and we learn from that. That's how re-engineered podcast origin, and I came up with that theme. So why I'm coming, like when your why clicks, then you understand that half of your job is done. Second tip is consistency. Very important. I fumbled, I have stopped, and there are a few guests who were not okay with the questions I was asking. So many, it was not flawless, or till now I'm still learning. It had a lot of challenges behind the scenes, on the scenes, during the podcast. I reached studio late, but I promised myself, like I promised when I started, I turned 40. I came up with 40 re-engineered podcasts. I told I'll come up with this 40 stories. And till now, I have finished 27 podcasts recorded. So this is one of the biggest achievement, I must say, which I've done consistently without failing, every Friday coming up with a beautiful story and making sure that this 40 lessons will actually create a ripple effect and bring change. At least 100, at least 200, number doesn't matter. Even 1, 2, 3 people getting inspired and learning from that, and if I can create an impact, we are more than happy for that. So thank you so much for such beautiful support, and I encourage once again all my guests, all my audience, like whoever have supported and keep supporting, keep liking and subscribing our podcast. Please share and reshare in your network. Believe me, we all can create difference. It's not like only one person who starts. It always has a ripple effect. And we all should believe on the basic principle, what you give, it always comes back to you. So the more experience that you have, the knowledge of wealth that you have, if you keep sharing, definitely it is going to come to you. So thank you so much for all your love and support. And if you have a re-engineered story to share with us, reach out to us through our Instagram at the Re-Engineered Club Podcast, and you cite your interest over there, and me or my team will reach out to you, and we will make sure that your story is heard in this particular platform. We'll make it happen, and keep encouraging and keep listening. Any questions if anyone has? Hi Manisha, hi Meral. Thank you for joining. Hi Saj. Hi Samir. I'll take the last question which I got, and that makes it's like, okay. What inspired you to start the Reengineered Club? I already told. What inspired me to start the Reengineered podcast is the podcast, because I know that as reengineering definitely gives an improvement and gives a better result after doing fine tuning your existing lifestyle, your existing career, and you see where your passion lies, and that's how this reengineering your life, your passion, your profession definitely matters. So that's why I came up with the Reengineered podcast. And after doing so many why, after writing 5 whys, I came to know that yes, this is the purpose and this is the intention I'm coming up with. So last question, I'll take it up and then I will sign up. And thank you so much for joining. And who inspired you to start the Reengineered Club? And I think it is my own experience. Most of the time it has, like, when I look back, I was an engineer. I couldn't join my engineering career, which I got it in during the campus recruitment because of the massive accident I got exposed to. So I lost my job and then I started doing my MBA, and after that I was directly placed in UAE. Then I was having a career in marketing, a beautiful career. Then suddenly, because of family and personal situation, I moved to business excellence. And then I kept moving to my different sectors, and I saw how beautifully we can amalgamate all the learnings from different sectors and apply all these best practices for development, for improvement, to make it a better workplace, to make it a better process, and to bring best of the results. So similarly, the same thing applies to our life and to a career. If you see what is happening in our life currently or what we have experienced in the past, and we improve on that, and we see that what worked, what did not work, and we keep that as a learning, and we see what else we can add on to that particular thing to make it a better, then let's go ahead and get it done. So that is the objective. And I request anyone have a re-engineered story or re-engineered life or re-engineered career or re-engineered relationship, please reach out to us. We'll be really happy. And we have only 12 episodes left to complete the 40 episodes. So please, we have only 12 guest slots left. So please reach out and ping us, message us, DM us on any of the social media of Reengineered Club podcast. We'll make sure that we reach out to you, because your story matter, and our platform will help you to make your story reach out to the public. Thank you so much. I know it's a Friday evening and you all are excited to enjoy your weekend. And thank you so much for all your support. And believe me, your comment, your support makes a difference. Hi Sebi, hi, good evening. Thanks for joining. Hi Tirab, and hi Same. Thank you so much for your comment. Thank you so much. And wishing you all good luck, and keep re-engineering your life for making it much better and ultimately bringing happiness. That's it from my side, and signing off, your host of the Reengineered podcast, Madhusmita Nayak. Have a good evening. Thank you.